So as we continue our discussion of leadership, let's quickly review what leaders do. Through the presentation and enunciation of a clear vision, leaders provide direction and meaning to those working to achieve that vision. By behaving in an ethical and morally sound way, as well as treating all with respect, leaders generate trust that ultimately provides the impetus for constituents to support leaders and work toward the vision. By valuing constituents' thoughts and ideas, respecting all as human beings, listening to new ideas, and subjugating ego in favor of vision accomplishment, leaders facilitate action and risk-taking amongst constituents. Finally, leaders communicate hope. This is communicated by keeping the vision clear in everybody's mind and demonstrating progress towards attainment. So the truth is, just as our personality and experiences influence how we speak, dress, interact with each other, and perceive the world, they also influence our leadership behavior. Leadership styles have been categorized and characterized and described in many different ways. However, it is rare that a leader falls exclusively into any one category. Instead, leadership styles are often blended or customized to goals, vision, and people. This does not mean that leaders easily change their style or are wishy-washy. Rather than employing any one style or quickly interchanging one for another, it is probably more accurate to say that leaders possess a preferred style. However, they may subtly alter their style to move toward vision attainment. We will now review some common leadership styles. The four styles model of leadership is heavily based on the notion that leadership skills are linked to cognitive brain functions. One theory is that neurological centers for these functions can be found in different regions of the brain known as quadrants. The theory suggests that one quadrant may have dominance over the others, resulting in a preferred way of thinking and interacting with the environment. Four leadership styles are derived from this theory. One of your assigned readings discusses the four styles and even suggests a method for determining your own preferred style. Make sure you are prepared to discuss this theory and your preferences when we meet online. Here are some popular leadership styles. Once again, these styles represent alternate ways of describing strategies and means of how leaders lead. They are not the only ways that leadership can be described, and individuals may possess and use elements of more than one of these styles. Have you ever been drawn to someone due to the sheer force of their personality or accomplishments? Charismatic leaders rely on their interpersonal skills and seemingly natural magnetism to motivate people. Charismatic leadership can be very effective. It is often most notable in politics, religion, and sports. Though it may be effective, there is a downside. Sometimes the leader becomes more important than the mission. People may join a particular megachurch or work on a particular political campaign primarily because of the pastor or politician's charisma. This is dangerous for the organization. What happens to the organization when the leader disappoints the constituents, abuses power, or fails to live up to expectations? It becomes difficult for these organizations to survive because the vision may be too intricately associated with the leader. In these cases, perhaps constituents are truly followers of a leader rather than chasers of a vision. This does not mean that charismatic leadership is bad. Certainly, a leader with charisma can indeed be an advantage. However, it is important that constituents keep the vision foremost in their mind. The vision must transcend leaders. Democratic leaders like to involve other team members in the decision-making process. Although they typically have no problem with making the final decisions, involving team members help to build skills and engenders a sense of group control and mutual responsibility. At the same time, decision-making may be slowed and its quality is greatly dependent upon the experience and expertise of the group. Also, conflicts may erupt when the process becomes contentious. Finally, the leader may be perceived as weak or unwilling to take responsibility. In autocratic leadership, leaders have absolute power over constituents. Constituents have very little opportunity to make suggestions or participate in decision-making. Constituents typically do not tolerate this type of leadership unless the stakes are high. If the vision or goal accomplishment is deemed crucial and can be accomplished in the relative short term, and the leader possesses superior expertise, constituents may tolerate this leadership style. However, they may become demoralized, frustrated, and less productive. Bureaucratic leadership can be characterized as by-the-book leadership. These type of leaders emphasize strict adherence to established rules or set up their own rules for the completion of a variety of tasks. When solving problems, they prefer clear and organized pathways. Bureaucratic leadership may be most appropriate for tasks that require the handling of large sums of money or place people in harm's way. Bureaucratic leadership favors stereotypic action over creative action. Servant leaders are people-centered. They devote themselves to serving the needs of team members. They lead by attempting to bring out the best in constituents by coaching and encouraging self-expression, tailoring responsibility to individual strengths, building a sense of community and joint ownership, and listening and responding to concerns. On the face of it, servant leadership sounds pretty positive. Constituents feel valued and supported and therefore may work harder to achieve the vision. However, there may be some downsides. Some may say leaders should serve the vision instead of the team members or constituents. A servant leader might get too bogged down in developing individual team members and lose vision focus. Delegation of responsibility and task-oriented duties may falter as emphasis is centered on constituents. Whereas it is clear that all leaders should practice some elements of servant leadership, as in most things, its extreme or overuse may not be the most beneficial. If a leader is working with a group of accomplished experts or experienced specialists, this leadership style may be best. Laissez-faire is a French phrase that means leave it be. Leaders essentially allow team members to work independently. Leaders using this style must clearly define goals, timetables, and expected work products. As long as the leader monitors team members' work, provides feedback, and provides more active leadership when needed, this leadership style can be very effective. Sometimes this style gets a bad rap. An effective leader employing this style may indeed be quite busy moving from one constituent to another, gauging progress, discussing innovation, reinforcing the vision, keeping individuals on track, sharing ideas, and steering results. Their leadership may not be the type of upfront activities that are readily recognized. However, their role remains crucial to vision accomplishment. A transformational leader attempting to improve how a group of teachers interact with students may first appeal to the reason teachers chose the profession in the first place. The leader would lay the groundwork by discussing the significance of their work and their role in shaping young people's lives. The transformational leader seeks to facilitate change by connecting constituents' sense of identity and self to the vision. A transformational leader must be a role model that inspires and challenges constituents to take greater responsibility and ownership of their work, and indeed become leaders, change agents, and vision chasers. So I guess we're back to where we started. It should be clear now that even though there may be many different leadership styles, effective leaders probably do not exclusively fall into any one category. There may be a period in time in chasing the vision when autocracy is required, and then a shift towards a more democratic or even laissez-faire style is best. Although a primary style may undergird leadership activities, effective leaders are sensitive to their environment, constituents, and the needs of the organization, and are able to appropriately respond. The bottom line is that leadership is serious business. It is not about accolades and ego. Instead, it is about change, vision, and making a better way.